See here. See if I could get this started here. Let me see. 7:45. See if this here thing up and running. Awesome, awesome. Let me see on here. Post this here. 7:45. This here. Right there. Awesome. Y'all give me a second. I'm on the Wi-Fi in my van. Y'all forgive me. In the Wi-Fi in my van, so Lord willing, everything goes okay. Wanted to do it on my computer so I can have it as members only. And because I didn't get to shoot a video in the daytime, we'll be getting in more of these members only chats when I don't get to shoot a video. Now it can't be members only when I'm on my cell phone. I need to check and see if they updated that yet. Now I think they did say you could do members only videos now from your mobile. So that's gonna be a huge benefit because they used to have it to where when you shoot a video on your cell phone, you gotta log in your computer to make it members only. So some of the topics, now the members only topics, is either gonna be members on YouTube or I might be on the Patreon. But when I have to speak on celebrity issues, I may put it on the Patreon. Sometimes it'll be on here, and sometimes I could do both, but Patreon is a little different. So I can, touch on some things that, I don't be wanting to. I need to teach a lesson from the things we see, but I don't always want to say names out of respect for the people who the lessons are coming from, because they might not want to be the brunt of the lesson, but it is what it is. So we're gonna try to crank that up as I get some time. um, Somebody used the hashtag Q in here that helped me out. So when y'all have a question, put that hashtag Q in there because that does help me. And welcome to the new members. God bless y'all. Welcome to the new members. Let me see here. Really great guy I'm talking to, and has really great qualities, but I don't feel those butterflies, but afraid of missing out on a good guy. Advice. Well, I will tell you like this, and I'm going to be a lot more real with y'all these days and going forward, just because the stakes are getting higher. I'm going to tell you this. If you're a good guy, you better give yourself the butterflies. And what you also have to realize about the butterflies is not always a good thing, because it's typically a very strong spirit that give you the butterflies. And so that spirit could be a seducing spirit. That spirit could be a demonic spirit. That spirit could be something that will really cost you. And so I want you to realize and understand that you do not want to get caught up on feelings. What you want to get caught up on is knowledge. Is this man what I need? Is this man what you need in a husband and a potential father of your children or y'all dogs or y'all adopted kids, nieces and nephews, whatever it is? That's what you have to focus on, because one of the things that I see is I notice that a lot of times women end up going directly going to the man that give them the butterflies, and the butterflies end up a stomach ache, and the man end up making them throw up. Then they go to the safe man to live out the rest of their days. You'll be better off going to the safe man first, so that the safe man don't have to be raising another man kids. Now, if you already been through that situation, God bless you. It is what it is. I ain't knocking you. But think about this amazing stepfather. Imagine if that woman could rewind the time and give this amazing man her first children. She probably would do it, not literally because of she love her kids, but it's just a thought of like, man, why didn't you go? Why didn't I go to this person first? Are there more single men without kids than single women with kids? I heard a man say this. We don't know. We don't know. You're going to have to get out there and do a study, because these studies be lying, and most black people don't even do surveys. So we really don't know. But what you can do just to get a consensus, just to get to see the micro of it, is just go out and look amongst all your friends and all your family and see how many single men you meet. Now, when I think of the single men I know, the three that come right to mind, I know three single men that jump right to mind. They don't have kids. But also, I know a bunch of single women without kids too. So we really don't know, but I'm not even sure it really matter. What will men think if I tell them I'm afraid of commitment? Well, you should not tell a man that you're afraid of commitment. You take your fears to God and you turn your fear into faith. You don't tell a man that's not your husband your weaknesses. Because if you tell a man that you're afraid of commitment, for one, you're gonna sound unhealed, jaded. Two, you're gonna run off a good man who wants commitment. Three, you're going to attract a grown boy who does not want commitment. He wants friends with benefits. So never tell a man that. Michelle, God bless you. God bless you. Hey, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. Been talking to a guy for 7 months, and he has been consistent and his actions line up. He says he is dating me with intention, but it's been 7 months. Am I wasting my time? I also met his kids. No, y'all dating. Y'all dating. You dating with intention. I don't know how you'll be wasting your time unless you're waiting on him to say, "Will you be my girlfriend?" But if y'all already like a couple, then you're not wasting your time. Between months 12 and 18, that's when you're really gonna find out if you're wasting your time. I texted him first yesterday. I only see him around town driving, not in person. No answer. 24 hours later. Is there any chance he still might reply? What are your thoughts? Yeah, he might reply if he doesn't have a woman that's right up under him. He might reply. But hopefully everything okay with him. It's been 24 hours. So first, before you jump to conclusions, you always pray that the person is okay. So that's first and foremost. Now, when you find out he okay, like you see him out and about and he hasn't responded in them 24 hours, now you know you got your little issue. And it's typically one or two things. One is he got another. One is he's not interested, because having another woman don't really matter for a lot of guys. So number one is he's not interested. Number two, he has another woman. My child, who is 4 years old, father lives in another state. Was consistent on child support till last 2 months. Barely FaceTime. Sees her one time a year. Him and his mom want to see her for a week without me present. Unsure. Hmm. That's a little interesting. Yeah, that's a little interesting. I'm gonna tell you like this right here. Listen to your intuition, because for me, this is the thing. I coached a lady whose father was gone for a while and didn't have a relationship with her. And then when she met him years later, he slept with her and got her pregnant. And her first child is from her biological father. Now she wrote a book about it, so I could share this, even though I'm not even saying her name and about the book, but she wrote a book about it. And that confirmed what I know about men, is you have to realize with men, in a lot of ways, we don't have the same filters until we are renewed. A man don't have the same filters that a woman has. A man doesn't have the same thought process. So me personally, as a man, I wouldn't trust a man with a daughter, especially if he don't have a relationship with her. And if it's a son, then, or you say see her, but even if it's a son, because some men don't know how to raise a child, and I struggle bad as a father. I struggle bad just learning how to raise kids. And my wife even struggled as a mom. As great as a mom is, we still struggle with communication, what we saying, how we say it, all that. So when someone doesn't have a relationship, because what you have to realize is those of us, and I'm gonna spend a little time on this because this is very important, because we got to protect them, those right there, the little one. But those of us who live in the home with our seed still can go off and hurt or damage our seed. So imagine the hurt and the damage that could be done by someone who does not have a real relationship and connection. So for me, it's an absolute no. Because if he want his child so bad, then he ought to be FaceTiming every day. He ought to be FaceTiming every day. Even if it's 5 minutes, hey, how you doing? How was your day? To build a relationship. So that'll be the first thing. If you want to see my child who you ain't been consistent with, child 4 years old, you see my child one time a year, you barely FaceTime, you're going to have to FaceTime every day for at least 6 months. But honestly, I'm trying to scratch it for a year. When I say every day, I don't literally mean every single day, but to try every day, so that at the most you probably missing one day in there before you get back on it, or maybe 2 days if it's something real crazy going on. But don't play about that there. And I know a lot of times men say, oh, women being spiteful because I ain't paying child support, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. Man, let's protect them little ones, Because if a man want to be in there, he need to be in there. Y'all forgiving somebody popped in the it's another question up here popped in the super chat that y'all probably could see. Husband of 5 years. After being out with his friends. Did the 2 week rule, but I'm not sure I can ever trust him again. 3 month old, so trying to hang in there. Open to suggestions. Well, with that right there, you probably gonna need one-on-one coaching, because when it comes to marriage, it's a very delicate thing, and so I really don't like speaking too loosely on marriage, because that's a covenant before God. That's not like these dating relationships, these co-parenting relationships. You in a covenant, and so just because you found something, don't mean something happened. And the fact that you found them mean that that's at least that it wasn't used. And then two, it ain't that easy today for guys to just approach women. A lot of guys not even approaching women. So, and then three, it could have been one of his homeboys. So the one of the worst things we could do is assume. That's one of the worst things we could do. And I'll be honest with now. And the other question is, do y'all use them? And did he have them from y'all and took them with him just in case something got out of hand? Now, what it does say is he open to cheating. That's what it does say. So he need to be really talked to and really warned about this here. But I will tell you, in a marriage, it's always gonna be stuff that happen that make us lose trust, and we gotta power through that and work through that until we have expressly a reason to leave. Can't just leave off speculation, and you don't want to really live in a terrible situation off of speculation and what's going on in your mind. Long distance military boyfriend had a woman friend stay with him for a few days. I knew in my spirit that it was wrong. He told me it's just platonic. Should I just leave the relationship? That's a tough one now. But see, this is a boyfriend. This is a boyfriend. Now, I have been in a relationship and stayed with another woman platonically. I have done that. I have seen it done. So it's not to say that it can't be true. The other thing is the fact that he told you about it. That don't mean nothing happened. But the fact that he told you about it to me says he trying to be honest with you. Now he asking for a lot. He asking for a lot. And in that situation, sometimes you got to put the mirror in a man's face and say, okay, would you be okay if a man stayed with you platonically? Sometimes you got to put a mirror in the person's face so that they could see and hear how crazy it is what they saying. So, but again, you could be leaving off of speculation, and you really don't want to do that. Because I feel like if it was all the way wrong, he could have just hid it. He could have said he dropped his phone, smashed his phone on accident, dropped it. It's in the shop getting fixed, and took them few days of being unreachable, or just like texting on the computer or something. Or he could have went into the room and been talking to you, and you never noticed she was there. So it just depends on, the question is, when she stayed, was he still talking to you every day? And was he talking to you in front of her? And that still don't mean they weren't sleeping together now. That still don't mean that. But that's something to think about. My mom ran into my ex and he gave her his number to keep in touch. and told her he still loves me. Am I wrong to tell my mom to block his number? Why would he do that? Just to come and mess up your life. He just trying to trip you up, trying to tighten that soul tie. But you're not wrong to tell your mom to block his number. She should block his number. Christina, I can't even remember you. Oh, maybe about the good guy. It's good if you don't have experience with women. That's what you want there now. Welcome to the new members. A coworker always screaming at staff. I had to put the person in check. Spiritual warfare. You did the right thing. Did the right thing. Hello, Mr. Tony. Do you think a husband and wife can live in different houses? Because that's what I want if I get married. Sis, you might as well stay single. You might as well stay single. You don't want no marriage. Yeah, you do not want marriage. So sis, you might as well stay single till you have a change of heart. You need to do some coaching, sis, and heal. That cause that sound like that comes from trauma. You need to heal, sis. You need to heal. Awesome, Michelle. We glad to have you. God bless you. With a man that has been stopped for the right woman, I honestly cannot say. I honestly cannot say because I have never smoked weed. So I do not know how strong it is. I can't really see it. I can't really see it. I can't really see it happening. It's hard for a man to give up any form of addiction. It's hard. So I really don't know. Oh, somebody sent me a cash out. God bless you now. Somebody sent me a cash out because they say they ain't want YouTube to take 30% of it from me. God bless you now. God bless you. Look at that. Look at that there now. God bless you. So say, no, I ain't finna let you two get these coins from you. God bless you. So yeah, that's a tough one now. That's a tough one. Nora, God bless you. Ashley, God bless you now. Been dating a man exclusively for a month. He's consistent with spending time together like 2 to 3 times a week. However, he hardly communicates with me via phone, text when we are not together. Sound like he in a relationship. Sound like he in a relationship, sister. And the thing about it is that now y'all be perplexed by this. Y'all be, sis, you sound like you perplexed. But it's only been a month. Now, this is what you got to understand right now, sister. This is what you got to understand. They want to paint to you. This is what I want to paint to you. I'm in a relationship, right? Okay? I'm in a relationship. Right now, my wife is doing Lord knows what. She with our youngest son. So that's one thing let me know she can't do too much. She with our youngest son. But right now, while I'm on here talking, I could be with another woman right now. My son practiced from 7:30 to 9. So I could drop him off, swing by another woman's house, and be with that other woman for an hour and 15 minutes. I also could have that woman pull up here and get in the van and sit in here and chop it up with her. My wife would not know. So that's what I want y'all to understand is when a man ain't with you, you don't know what he doing. When a woman ain't with you, you don't know what she doing. Cheating is not hard. Cheating is not hard. But when you getting to know a man and he like you and he really about you, he gonna be on that phone with you all the time. All the time. But when a man only is really talking to you when he see you, that means he's in a relationship where the woman is complacent. Like she trusts him. She trusts him. They done been together for a while, and he got that kind of free reign. Somebody else sent me a cash out. God bless you now. God bless you. God bless you now. I go in there and hit that. Oh, you know what I did wrong? Add to the wrong. All right. Encouragement on spiritual warfare. I know you speak on it all the time. Just need it. Thanks. Guess what that means, sister? If you are going through spiritual warfare, and I'm going through it with you, you know what that means? That means we going towards something that's gonna be great. That's finna be amazing. That means that spiritual warfare is to block our next level. That's all that spiritual warfare is. But with spiritual warfare, it ain't never a test that you can't beat, that you can't pass. Wherever there is temptation, and temptation don't just mean lust and all of that. Temptation means spiritual warfare. Whenever there is temptation, there is a way of escape. So what you got to know and realize is that when you pass this test, you fixing to you finna be you finna be amazing. When you pass this test here, you finna go into a season. That season finna be so blessed. You hear me? That season finna be so blessed. That season finna be so amazing. Kenny, you gonna need your one-on-one now. You scranging these together. This ain't for that now. This for them little short questions now. You need your one-on-one. Need your one-on-one session. One-on-one session is closed to the public right now. It's available to the members of the Growth Club. So y'all have to get in the Growth Club, get your one-on-one session. After being out with his friends, did the 2-week rule, and now you put this in here, and it say 3. I'm thinking you finna add on to the question. Misha, God bless you now. Do you think you will ever approve online dating? I do approve online dating in certain situations. When I talk to a client and it's a unique situation, that's an exception to the rule. But typically, it's only clients over 50 or clients who live in podunk cities. I feel that online dating is going to be the new way of people dating. Even Simone Biles met her now husband on a dating app. Now, I feel like Simone Biles' husband is a celebrity. I thought her husband was an NFL player. So I don't know what kind of dating app they met on, and that might be a lie. They might have got matchmake. They might have had a celebrity matchmaker and don't want to tell nobody and calling a dating app. But you really believe that? You think the Simone Biles finna be on a dating app? I don't believe that. I think these people be telling that lie because of how they really met. They don't want to say. But I don't even believe that in the least. A celebrity? That's all kind of. It's a million people on them dating apps. So you get on there as a celebrity, everybody finna be in your DMs connecting with you, and everybody finna be on there. And Buddy probably was on there to slay. Buddy was probably on there meek slanging, and then got that celebrity. He's like, oh, I'm finna cha-ching. Simone Biles, cha-ching. Yes, sir. But listen, stay out them dating out. Stay out them dating out. Oh Lord. Oh, this was the message I answered. I'm just not getting down to it. Sister, you got to talk to YouTube about that now. I don't handle none of the programming. None of that. You might have to maybe turn off the notification, then turn them back on. And you might have to unsubscribe, then subscribe or something. I'm not sure, but honestly, when we really think about it, that's a lot of bandwidth for YouTube. So they say they send notifications, but that just would not really add up because emails cost money to send. So I'm not the only one going live. So if they have a million creators going live and everybody got 100,000 people in their notifications, that's a lot of data that got to go out. So honestly, I think that the notification bell is cute, but I don't think it actually really works for 100% of the people who have it turned on. I think they probably got a percentage of people that they send it out to, because it just logistically it will cost them a fortune. Because that email that costs money. I got a mailing list, and I had for that mailing list to have them emails on that list cost me nearly $400 a month. When y'all go in the Tony Gas Academy and then y'all get them emails from me, that mailing list cost me nearly $400 a month. And I'm just talking to a few thousand. YouTube, they gotta talk to millions. Men in the DM. How do you say you're not interested, leading with a pure heart? They're either too young or someone's grandpa. I'm not interested in either. Don't answer. Don't even waste your breath. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer everybody that reach out to you. You ain't got to answer, because when they in the DM, it going to the part where it's a request. So unless you hit approve, they don't even know that you've seen it. So don't even answer. And you might be talking to a bot anyways. I know I'm not the only beautiful woman he sees, but I don't know how to address it when I catch my boyfriend staring at women. Normally I brush it off. This right here, sister, is this right here is the topic, would be the biggest topic. And it just it make me wonder, like, Lord, why did you make women like this to care about this if you made men like this to want to look? I'm like, that puts us at odds. Because I'm going to tell you as a man, and I'm going to help y'all ladies understand this, and y'all is not going to like this. But I'm going to tell you as a man who is 100% faithful to my wife, it is almost impossible not to look at a beautiful woman. Now, the other coaches, they might not admit to that. And I stay in a constant spiritual battle to work on that right there. Because listen to me. When you see that set of hams, but this is the thing. It's different things that human like. So as a woman, your man is not the only handsome man you see. So you can't get so caught up in him looking at a woman. If you saw a handsome man, you will be looking at that handsome man. Because sometimes I'm walking, a lot of times I see women looking at me with a man, and I just be scanning the room. And I look at every single human being because I'm always watching my surroundings. I'm always aware of my surroundings. I'm looking everywhere. That's how I find necklaces and diamonds and money, because I'm always aware of my surroundings. That's how I see stuff people don't see. I'm driving down the road. It's a pond way off the side of the road. I see a baby alligator up on the land, because I be looking that hard. I also have 2015 vision, which is perfect vision. But listen, I'm gonna tell you the one thing that you could do when your man look at a woman. You could tell him Don't do that, but all that's going to do is make him hide it. That is not going to pierce his heart. That is not going to change his nature. I honestly believe as a man, the best way to handle that is to ignore it, to act like you don't even see it, because what it's going to do to us as a man is it's going to say to us, wow, my woman is so secure and so confident that she ain't even phased by no other woman. She really her, and she knows she her. And to be honest with you, when a woman is like that, that make us want to sniff her booty. What I mean is like I'm saying that as a metaphor, how the dogs be walking up on other dogs and sniffing their booty hole. Now, why do dogs do that? Lord, you done made some creatures. I'm like, why is this dog sniffing this booty? I'm like, but that's how we are as men. When our woman is confident and she ain't worried about no other woman, it make us more into that woman. But I have learned both ways. When a man is controlling, when a woman is controlling, when a man is insecure, when a woman is insecure, it actually pushes their partner away. It actually pushes your partner away. So what you got to realize is women look at beautiful women. Women look at handsome men. So humans look at attractive humans. Do you know they did a study? They did a study that they took a baby and they put that baby in front of someone that is attractive and someone that is unattractive. And the baby stared at the attractive person 80% of the time. So a lot of times we actually say that I be teaching that the attractiveness is based on the media and all of that, but that wouldn't be true for that test with that baby. So I think in our relationships, and I done tripped up over this too. I done been in the mall, me and my wife in the mall, and I see this tall guy walking, and I know women like men over 6 feet, and I see this guy tall and he dressed nice and he looked like money. I'm over here, and my wife beside me, I'm watching the whole way, and then she'll might take her a little look and just look over at the guy. What you looking at? I seen what you were looking at. I seen what you were looking at. You looking at that man. I wasn't looking at him. What are you even talking about? I ain't even see nothing. And then my wife, she'll do that to me. This old set of hams. And boy, them hams just cardo swinging. And I'm just locked in. Whoa. And I'm trying to. And my wife, she used to say something back in the day. Then she came to a point where she stopped saying something. And then the Lord convicted my spirit. Tony, you got to do better. And then when I started coming a coach, I started hearing women ask that question. And I'm like, man, so that really bothered y'all. Like, we can't talk to this woman. We can't walk up. It's like, I'm thinking as a man, I'm like, you better be glad you right here with me. And I can't put no, So I feel like as couples, we got to get to the place to where we get over the minute things. We get over that little stuff. Francina, God bless you now. And we get to the real issues. Because I'm going to be honest with you. That right there, if you tripping over that, it's going to be a long road. And one thing I'm going to tell y'all about men, just because a man look at a woman, don't mean he'll cheat with her. The same goes for women. Just because a woman look at a handsome man, don't mean she'll cheat with him or sleep with him. So you have to get to the point to where you picking your battles wisely and you not turning molehills into mountains. Because I know as a man who don't get drunk, who don't smoke, who don't curse, who don't watch porn, who don't what's the other thing? Gamble. Who I know for me as a man who live a straight and narrow life, I struggle with that. I, Lord, I be having to put my neck in one of them braces and put me some blue blockers on where I can't see. But that is something that perplexes women. That perplexes women. Cause I remember one lady when I told her my homeboy who he married, he was like, "Bro, you wasting your time, man. That is so stupid. You could look and not touch, man." I said, "Brother, the Bible said you lust on a woman in your heart, you already committed adultery." Man, look, Lord know my heart. Man, I ain't finna stretch myself like that. I'm gonna get me a little look in now. And guess what? He ain't never cheat on his wife, and I don't think he ever will. And me and him be out by ourselves, and he could go shoot his shot. He could go try something, but he faithful. So I want women to understand that you have to become secure enough to where you understand that a man looking at a woman, it literally means nothing. Because one thing you gonna know is that the same way we look at a beautiful woman is the same way we gonna look at an unattractive woman. And we asking God, we saying the same thing. Ooh, Lord. We the same way we look at a beautiful woman, the same way we look at an unattractive woman, and we saying the same thing. Ooh, Lord. Oh, Lord, what you did right there. We did the same thing. So I want you to understand that 10 or so guys at my gym have asked me for my number. I am flattered by the ask and love that men are actually approaching women, but I am not interested in any of these guys. How do I reject kindly? You got to say you married. Today, you got to say you married. Because if you say no, thank you, I'm not interested, or you say no, no, I don't give up my number. You in a public place, so you should be good, but you don't know if one of them crazy and gonna follow you out. So what you need to do is when you say you married or you say you got a boyfriend, you're taken. It lets that man know you have coverage and you have representation, so that if he get out of pocket, he gonna get flatlined. So because of what's happening out here with these folk, then that's why I recommend saying that versus just saying I'm not interested. Because women are losing their life from rejecting men, and you just never know what man is that man that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I recommend saying, unfortunately, I'm taken. But no, no, not unfortunately, not. I'm sorry, but I'm taken. Oh, okay. Well, where's he at? Why does he work out here? He works different hours, so he trains at home. Oh, okay, okay. But you may see him sometime. Oh, okay, all right. Well, sister, you must be in there with them hams swinging. 10 different men that came and asked you. You in there, you in there, you in there with that camera on you doing them squats. I have never heard from a woman that 10 different men in her gym and tried to holler at her. Never. So that let me know you waiting on you a billionaire. I already know what kind of woman you are. You sound like one of them South Beach babes, they call them. You around here with that body yaddy yaddy and 10 different men, and now one of them ain't good enough for you. You waiting on a billion now. Come on now, you better wake up and smell the folders in the morning. I'm a RN in North Carolina. He's in Kansas City. No, Kansas, getting his PhD in bioengineering. He's consistent with his actions, shows me I'm a priority in his life. Dating a year. How long should I wait to expect him to propose? Mm, Him, it might take 2 or 3 years because he focused on his career, and he's also a little different. So he's not really a ladies' man like that because he in bioengineering, and the bioengineering PhD is not really a ladies' man. The two don't go together. He could appreciate, love, and respect the woman, but when you a ladies' man and you buy women, you don't have the focus to do bioengineering. You doing communications and other type of degrees, criminal justice, political science. No disrespect to y'all who in those majors, but you doing a major that's doable and manageable. You ain't trying to do no bio nothing. So he focused on, and what I'm gonna tell you is, don't get complacent. You are RN, you need to try to become an NP, a PA. You need to keep climbing because when he out there getting that PhD in bioengineering, he not gonna want to see no complacent woman because RN, that's a step on the ladder, but it's higher to go. So keep on going. Don't get complacent. If you got more in you and you capable of more, keep pursuing more because he ain't gonna want nobody on his coattail now. When he move into he in a whole nother state. In love with a man who has serious trust issues, constantly talk about his past and how he's been let down. Swears I would have overlooked him in high school and avoids getting close to me. Man, and you in love? Mm. Well, sister, let me look at you with my good eye because I'm trying to see what you got going on that make him think you would have overlooked him. I'm wondering, is he got a little weight on him, or is he under 5'8"? That's what it got me wondering why he acting like that. Is it something else about him that got him insecure? But that's a real thing, and it goes both ways. And what it takes is communication. It just takes communication. You gotta say it and you gotta mean it. You gotta be able to say, "Hey, listen, I'm about you, and if there is no trust, there is no relationship. So at some point, you're gonna have to trust me, and I gotta also trust you. So as big as a risk you taking, I'm taking just as big of a risk. So you got to sit down and really talk sense to him and really, give him the game. Give him the game. You've been consistent with him for years, but he still has insecurity. Should I leave and let him heal or stay consistent with him, even though I'm not being loved the way I'm? Now, if it's been years, it's time to go. If it's been years, it's time to go now. It's time to go. No, Playboy got to go. Got to go. Been good knowing you, my boy, but I got to go. So you got to let them know, like, listen, I don't think this is gonna work. You got to tell them, like, listen, I don't think this is gonna work because if you can't trust me, we don't have anything. And if you're gonna treat me like you don't trust me, then we have nothing. So I'm not sure this is for us. And you got to go and present it to him and see what he says about that and see if that wake him up. Also, him not trusting could be a guilty conscience. He could be cheating on you. You might need to, do a little digging because that's honestly probable cause in the court of love when somebody don't trust you for no reason and it's been years. That don't make no sense. So to me, it sounds like he can't trust himself. How can I change my success with men? I'm becoming discouraged and frustrated. I'm 26, old school, never had relations, dated once, but desire marriage. No success approaching or getting approached. Sister, I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna have to do a makeover. You're gonna have to do a makeover. Cause see, men are visual creatures. You heard the lady complaining about her man looking at other women. Men are visual creatures. Now, the way you describe yourself, you're gonna have to do your makeover now, because you have to have your packaging right in order to be approached. So you're gonna have to put that money up, and you're gonna have to hire an image consultant that's gonna help you with that hair, gonna help you with that skin, gonna help you with them teeth, gonna help you with that body, gonna help you with them clothes. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. 9 out of 10 women that is single is because of their packaging. It's because of their presentation. 9 out of 10 women that's single is their presentation. The man see you and he is not impressed. And as a man, it don't take a lot because we don't have to put on lace fronts and wigs and makeup and girdles and spanks and skims and all of that. So as a man, it's almost like what you see is what you get. So that's why you see so many regular looking men with a beautiful woman, because the standards is different when it comes to physical looks. But the thing about it is men are visual creatures, and that's not going to change. That's not going to change. That's the way God made it. So you have to make sure that your packaging, the way you presenting yourself is right. Is it okay for a woman to always make the effort to see the man in a long distance relationship? He's always broke or something comes up when it's his time to visit. Does it mean he doesn't care? That's what it means. It means he doesn't care. Because a man who is about you, he finna move mountains to get to see you. And a man who is about you, he don't want you spending your money to come see him. And I really will find it hard to believe that he's not looking for another woman in his city. And that's where he's spending his money on local dates. I find it hard to believe he ain't doing that, because as a man, I know men, when we bout a woman, we finna make moves. You hear me? Like if a man is in a long distance relationship, he finna go see that woman if he want her and he about her. And he finna be trying to move to her or move her to him. He ain't trying to stay long distance for long. When a man want a woman, he finna be begging you to move, if that's possible. Unless one of y'all deployed or something. Other than that, if he got to borrow from his mama, he gonna borrow from his mama. His homeboy, he not finna be broke. And now see, this is one of them situations where he broke in character and he broke in finances. So you got a lose-lose situation. Because a broke man in character, I remember one time I had a rough patch with my wife. And we was on rough, tough times. We needed a getaway. I ain't had the money. I hit my homeboy and say, listen, I'm about to run my wife off, man. I need to take out of town. We need a getaway. We need a reset. I say, man, let me hold 5 stacks. He peeled it right off to me. There you go. Hey, go save your marriage, boy. Just like that right there. That's what a man gonna do when he bought a woman. He gonna make it happen. He ain't gonna have you coming out there to see him all the time. And at the most, he gonna say, let's alternate. I come to you, you come to me. I come to you, you come to me. And then when you coming, he trying to pay for it or help pay for it at the least. Beneath the God bless you now. God bless you, new member. Oh no, super sticker. God bless you, new member. Sister Rolandi, God bless you now. God bless you. How to address the issue? Okay, let's just he'll put that question in again. Now I'm gonna get to y'all question now. Y'all ain't got to post y'all question too many times now. Dating a man for almost 2 years. He's consistent and thoughtful, but I want to break up every other day because of no chemistry or romance. But we talk every day. I'm a Christian. He's a Muslim. Should I go? Yep, go on about your business. Go on about your business. I'm gonna tell you like this right here. A woman is made for love. A woman is made for love. So as a woman, oh, XOXO say, thank you, Tony. I think I get approached so much at the gym because I am slim and shapely. I dress cute, leggings and crop top, and I lift weight, so I'm around the guys in the weight room. Oh, okay, I see. I see you over there. Yep, I see what you out over there doing. I see what you over there doing. Uh-huh. What is that picture of, though, sister? You might need to update that picture. I can't tell what that is. What in the world is that picture now? Because I'm going to tell you, so you need to update that picture because that look like the inside of something. It look like the inside of a body cavity. What in the world? Is that a inside of a cave? Sister, you need to update that picture now. I'm over here looking. I'm trying to wonder what I'm looking at. Uh, yeah, okay. Men over there shooting their shot. Why do it take a man years to marry a woman, like 10 years, then eventually marry a woman? That's not really that common. It's typically by men who weren't raised with a father in the home, and men who come from poverty, men who come from trauma and brokenness. So it's not really a super common thing. Like if a man have a decent upbringing, he pretty much after the age of 25, if he's dating a woman that he loves and he sees her as a wife, he typically gonna get married within 3 years. So making a woman wait 10 years, that's more of an exception to a rule, and it's just kind of the guy you dealing with. It's not really, of course, it's other men, but it's not the majority at all. What can we do as women for me to feel safe with us? For men to feel safe with us? Um, for one, you only want a man to feel like really safe with you when it's like your fiance or your husband. And one of the things you could do is be very transparent. So you should be able to leave your phone face up. You should be able to leave your computer open and unlocked. You should be able to, he should have your phone passcode. He should have your computer password. Like, that's the only way a man is going to feel safe, when it's an open book, when it's complete transparency. And that type of man who wants that and requires that will do the same things. If he doesn't, then you got an issue. You got an issue. You got an issue. Thoughts on a man asking me to date exclusive before being boyfriend and girlfriend seems like a setup, as I do not see the difference. Um, well, he just saying date. He's saying like let's lock in on each other, get at a period of time to see if we are fit, and then we become an item. So I wouldn't think too much of it. It just depends on the timeline. Like when you date exclusively, you put a timeline on it in your mind. You don't have to tell him the timeline. Typically, that timeline gonna be between 3 and 6 months before he asks you to be his woman. I met a guy. We dated for 3 months. Then he went to prison. We've been speaking somewhat consistently. We speak about the Bible, prayer, and speak of the future. Is this something worth pursuing? It depends on what he went to prison for. So you got to look at that crime that he in prison for, and then look at what that says about him, and that'll tell you whether it's worth waiting. If he took a life, it's not it's not worth dealing with. If he got caught up scamming, doing some fraud, he most likely is a cheater. Well, he a cheater in more than one way. He most likely is a cheater. I'm gonna tell you like this right here: 99.9% of criminals are cheaters because love is a moral act. To be faithful requires morals. So if a man will do things that will land him behind bars, it is next to impossible for him to be faithful. So because it is way, 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 way easier for a man to cheat on a woman than it is for us to do something that will put us behind bars. If we will do something that will put us behind bars, we'll cheat on a woman like this. Now, do not tell him I told you that because he behind closed doors, behind them bars. Let me know he also will try to put hands on me, and I'm gonna have to send him to meet the Lord. Point blank, pure odd. So don't mention my name now. If you want him to stay around, ask my boyfriend what keeps him from cheating. His response: because it's the right thing to do. What did he mean? That he believes cheating is wrong, and that he believes cheating is immoral, and that he wants to be a good person with morals. The Growth Club is worth the investment. If you haven't joined, what you waiting for? Y'all heard Nikki now. Y'all see that ain't my name now because she got the membership, everything. Y'all probably think that's my backup account. No, Nikki Mars. She done told y'all. We just had us a good call not long ago. Sabrina, welcome. Welcome, welcome. When you're working with people who may be going through their own spiritual warfare, but in the mean, through undercut jabs at you because you are light in the space, what do you do? Just duck them. Just duck and slip the jabs. You definitely should not quit the job because that means the devil won. That means you lost to the spiritual warfare. You got to duck them. You got to. The Bible say when you nice to that type of person, it's like heaping hot coals on their head. So understand that. Continue with a man who lives one state away and says he wants to get with me. He calls about one time a week. No, cut him off. So I read all I need to read. Cut him off. Cut him off. Rat nine. Rat nine. If you want to talk to him again, just have one more closure conversation, letting them know that inconsistency is enough for you, and this ain't gonna work. God bless you. Wish you the best. They met on Rail, which is a high end dating app. Y'all stay off that Rail now. Y'all stay off that Rail. That must be high end because I ain't never heard of it. I ain't never heard of it. I might ask my wife, can I get up look, just look around, just ask my wife, baby, just for research purposes, can I get over here, Rail, and we'll get on there together. You get out my passcode and everything. Let's just look around here and see what celebrities on there. Because I'm finna get in a DM. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm being a DM. You ought to be ashamed of yourself on this raggedy behind out when you could just walk outside and meet somebody. That thing must cost. Thing must cost some money. See, somebody say, yeah, he's an NFL player. Definitely was on the app. Y'all don't believe? I think no, I don't believe they was on no app. I believe that app. I believe that app cut them $1 million check to say they met on there. I believe that. I believe that they promoting that app for that check. I don't believe they was on that app. They could have been though. They could have been because people do weird stuff. Me personally, I'm not getting on no app to meet nobody. That right there is just kind of weird to me. And y'all need to stay off them dating apps. That is weird. I'm gonna tell you, it's weird. It make you look like a cyber nerd. You look like a cyber nerd, and it just also looks kind of psycho because you got to think about this. Who like to be behind a computer screen or a phone screen to meet somebody? You know who like to be that? The antisocial men who be shooting up schools. That is who dating apps is made for. Antisocial men. And them antisocial men is dangerous because you mess around and do them the wrong way. Listen, it's finna get ugly fast. Finna get ugly. And it might take 10 years. Dating apps were created for antisocial men. I'm gonna tell y'all, dating apps was created to play on the desperation of women and antisocial men. They trying to take two heads of the same monster and bring y'all together. And it's all about money. Because let me tell you one thing that the world at large does not care about. They do not care about happy relationships. They do not care about happy relationships. Because if the world cared about happy relationships, our reality TV programming would be better. It would be different. Our movies would be better. We would still have family oriented shows that is mass promoted. Remember we had Family Matters and they canceled that? They only had Family Matters just because they were trying to get black folks something like, man, let's just try to make up for slavery. Let me try to help y'all get some type of example of what we want y'all to do and be out here now. But then we started doing too good. We started doing too good. We like, whoa. They was like, whoa, we got to cancel that Family Matters, man. They passing us now. They passing us. They doing better than us. Family Matter canceled. Hanging with Mr. Cooper canceled. One-on-one canceled. Bill Cosby show canceled. Cosby was out here tired of painting that narrative himself. Cosby said, go ahead, go action. Out of nowhere, I started thinking about a past soul tie situationship. Then he followed me on Instagram. Do you think this means anything? Just curious. Woo, woo. That's scary, ain't it? That's how the mind works, though. That's how the mind works, though. You know, that's scary, though. How the mind works. That happened a lot where I be thinking about somebody and they'll text me. Not no soul tie, but I might be thinking about one of my homeboys, and the next day he texts me, T, what's going on? It's crazy. But the mind worked like that because God didn't invent cell phones. The cell phone wasn't an invention of God. Like God could have created anything he wanted to do. Technology is not of God. That's because of greed of man. Technology comes from the ego and the greed of man. So our mind's so connected to where when you really think on somebody, they go to thinking on you. And people teach on that. So, and, you know, they put little terms on it, metaphysics or stuff like that and all that. When you're working with people who may be going through, okay, so put her question in there again. Now, y'all stop posting y'all questions all the time. Now. Hey, Tony, I'm wondering how do men read our character? How can they tell? Don't worry about that, sister. Just worry about your character. If you worry about your character, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. Do you steal? Do you lie? Do you cheat? And whatever it is, it don't mean we're gonna be perfect. Don't mean it don't mean it's gonna be perfect. But you got to understand that. If I remember correctly, you once said that who a man follows on social media matters, and if he says it's no big deal, when we address it, it's a red flag. Do you still adhere to that belief today? Yes, it does matter. So like the women I follow, they my clients. I follow my clients. I follow celebrities and people like that who follow me and could be a potential client. So every follow, unless it's something for entertainment, which that wouldn't be a woman, it would be intentional. So if a man following a woman, it's typically He either knows her personally or he wants to get to know her personally. And he wanna be able to see what she posts, when she posted, and all of that. Also, that follow is almost like throwing a little pebble at somebody's window, because we know that we get shown new followers. So it's kind of a man's way to walk in front of a lady. It's almost like if you're in person, it would look like walking in front of. That's what that is. And then sometimes it could be something he don't want you to know, because that woman could be an ex-girlfriend or ex-fling, and he don't want you to know that he's following someone he done had relations with. Met someone who seems legit, highly compatible, long distance, spoke over 30 hours in person. Oh, you mean overtime? I'm hoping y'all ain't do no 30 straight now. Out of practice dating. Do I tell him or ask him to be direct when I have question or need clarity? Tell him to be direct. Ask him. Ask him to be direct. Men love to be direct. So say Andrea, she said it's one thing to look, but staring is on another level. Disrespectful tongue. It is disrespectful. It is disrespectful. But it's kind of the same. It's not really two different things to look and to stare. Because if a man if a man don't stare, he didn't look. That means he didn't see you. If a man see a woman, then he either gonna stare or he is choosing not to stare. So to look and to stare is the same thing. To see and to stare is different. So that's what you meant right there. And now we see somebody now. But see, the thing about it is as men, this is something that women will never understand. And I'm urging y'all to stop wrecking your brain to do it. Because y'all try to relate it to y'all self, and we are nowhere near the same. Men and women, this is something that women will never understand. And I'm gonna tell you why you won't understand it. The man put that in, God put that in a man. Because if a man was not extremely attracted to women, humans would cease to exist. Because I'm gonna tell you what, to a man, I'm gonna tell you what feel better than sex a lot of times. What feel better than sex for a lot of men is making money. What feel better than sex for a lot of men is winning in the casino, winning in a bet about, it might be a bet about it might be a bet about let me see if that's my son. Yeah, it might be a bet about a game. So what y'all have to understand is that you almost got to understand this right here. If that man did not, if he could so easily turn off looking at another woman, looking at a woman, that means he also could easily turn off loving you, wanting you, desiring you. And so a lot of things, what's gonna happen is a man might look at that woman, and then y'all go home. That's your husband. He got to take it out on you. And as crazy as that sound, that right there, that will hurt you all your life if you get caught up on that. Because what you give attention to, it's gonna make them want to do it more. It's just like when you raising a son. What you, although it make them want to sneak more, but when you have the confidence to say, you know what, I'm finna be and do me, I'm finna look good, that's what pull us back into our woman. That make us come back to our woman and say, wow, I'm crazy. Because I got this woman who is so confident, so loving, so supporting, I'm a fool to be looking at another woman and lusting with or without her. So there are men who can beat it. It's men who can beat it. I have not met them. I saw it with my father, but other than that, that was it. Other than that, that was it. Because every man gonna struggle with that. Um, Naomi said, I'd much rather him hide it. And that's the thing. If a man can hide it, he will. But and I'm gonna be honest with you, the reason why I like talking about this so much, because this is one of the perplexities of men. That is this one of the things that we furthest apart on as men and women. But I will tell you as a man is that looking don't mean nothing. Because when we look at a woman, we'll look at that woman. But what we also do after we done looked at that woman for a couple seconds, we start picturing the things that we know women go through, and then that take any attraction right out of it. Because it's like, listen, I done had to get used to this and learn this about one woman. I do not want to see no another woman and everything that come with a woman. So I'm gonna tell y'all that looking, it really does not mean anything. And this was so perplexing is that women will say and agree that men can have casual, but then make a huge deal about a man looking at a woman. So women will say sex for a man is not the same as sex for a woman, and a man could just sleep with a woman and not have feelings, and a man could just do this with a woman and not have feelings, but then turn around and make a big deal about a man looking at a woman. So if y'all believe that a man could sleep with a woman and it don't really mean a whole lot to him, and that's the story that y'all tell y'all self to stay with a man when you don't want to leave after he done cheated, because you don't want to uproot your kids, you don't want to change your lifestyle, you don't want to have to go through all what the haters got to say and everybody I told you so. So you make a decision to stay in a relationship and you tell yourself it didn't mean nothing, it was a one night stand, it was a nobody, it don't mean nothing. And I don't see how any woman could say that but then think that it means something if a man just look at a woman. And so I really want us to get past that so that it doesn't trip you up too much, because it ain't going. Francina, I think I've seen that. These old comments from what we were talking about. Amira, it really has. If you talking about the looking part, looking has nothing to do with a relationship. You know, a relationship is intimate. You laying together, you sleeping together, you getting married, you having kids. Looking at somebody is nowhere near comparable to being in a relationship. So, but that's why the Bible's so strict about it too. That say if you lust on a woman in your heart, you've already sinned. That's why it's so strict about it, because of the fact that men back in that day could just go up and just grab a woman. Women that had no rights, women that had no place, they could just go up and just grab a woman and just take a woman, just like what David did with Bathsheba. So in those cases, that's why it was so strict, because of how women in that day and time, women was just being boom. And so today, it ain't the same situation. Oh yeah. Hey, God bless y'all. My son Don.
Let me see what's up. Let me get the views up real quick.
Oh, you get the views up. Hey, you did get the views up though. Son Don with practice.
Talk about that birthday donation, birthday special. There's a reason.
son, so when I did the Sweet 16, the academy, y'all supported the Sweet 16, but of course it was $16. And I think it set a record. And I was telling him, I said, well, son, you brought some favor. You brought some favor. Might need to start working with you a little more often. But hey, God bless y'all. And listen to me. A lot of y'all ain't gonna understand what I be talking about. And the reason why you're not gonna understand is because a lot of times we want to believe a fairy tale and we want to believe like this thing of perfection. And when it comes to humans, there's no perfect human and there's no perfect scenario. And you always gonna have imperfect humans doing imperfect things. So you got to understand and look at it and really say, what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? And is this gonna hurt me in the grand scheme of things? And you got to really understand that, because it would be unreal for me to tell you, oh yeah, if a man look at another woman, that means he's a dog, he's a cheater, and you should leave him. Because I know that's not true. Oh yeah, if a man look at another woman, that means that if you wasn't there, he would have walked up to her and hollered at her. I know that's not true. Now, if you just get with community dangling who done slept with everybody, then yeah, for him that's gonna be true. But just for your average everyday man, you really will be making mountains out of molehills, and you'll be tripping over something that really is his sin that he got to take up with God, and that he gonna have to answer to God about. So the best thing you could do is take and warn him one time about that sin, and then go on about your business. Go on about your business, and don't lose sleep over small stuff, and know who you are and walk in your confidence, walk in your strength, and that's really gonna pull him closer to you. It's gonna pull him closer to you because he's gonna be intrigued. Like, whoa, what she got going on that she not tripping no more? What she got going on? Like, is she talking to somebody? Has she found somebody else? And that's gonna make him wanna unwrap your present because you the gift. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon. Y'all take care. What that was, son? What that was?